I want to ask you a question, not a question about cats in general. It is about your cat, the one living with you right now. When was the last time they proactively came up to you? Not because they were hungry. Not because something in the room changed. Not because you were holding a bag of treats or opening the refrigerator, but simply because they approached you, because they wanted to be near you. Really think about that before we move on. If it takes you more than 3 seconds to remember, this video is for you. Because here's what I have learned after years of monitoring cat behavior and the bond between cats and humans. Pulling away does not start with a major change. It does not start with a cat running away, refusing contact, or doing something that makes you realize right away that something is wrong. It starts with things so small that you will explain them away with every other reason before you ever think of the real one. Today, they do not want to climb onto your lap, maybe because it is hot. This week, they are lying in the corner of the room. Perhaps because they are going through a phase where they want some quiet time. Lately, when you call their name, there is no response. Maybe they are just busy looking out the window. Every single reason sounds plausible, and that is exactly why you miss it. By the time you realize something has changed, that process has already been going on for a while. I am going to show you exactly what those signs look like, one by one. Not to make you worry, but so that you can see what is truly happening. And more importantly, I will tell you why they happen. Because when you understand the reason, you will know what you can still do. Before diving into each specific sign, I want to talk about how most cat owners evaluate their relationship with their cats. We look at the positive moments. The cat sleeps on the bed with us, good. The cat comes close when called, good. The cat purrs when petted, good. We add those moments up and conclude that everything is fine. The problem is that those moments can keep happening, even when the bond between you and your cat is weakening. Because cats do not withdraw all at once. They withdraw layer by layer. The outermost layer is lost first. The small, voluntary behaviors with no obvious reason. Things that cats do simply because they want to connect. Those layers disappear first, while the bigger behaviors, like sleeping together, eating normally, and not hiding, are still there. And most cat owners only notice when they have already lost the third or fourth layer. What makes this even more complicated is that many withdrawal behaviors look exactly like normal behavior if you do not know the difference. A cat lying further away from you could be normal. A cat not responding when their name is called could be normal. The difference does not lie in a single behavior. It lies in the pattern when looking back. I want to start not with a list of signs, but with the reason why withdrawal happens. Because if you understand the reason, you will recognize the signs much more easily. Cats do not withdraw because of their personality. It is not because they are inherently independent or do not need people. Those are the explanations we use when we do not have a better explanation. Cats withdraw because trust is eroded. Research on cat-human attachment indicates that cats constantly evaluate the safety of their surroundings, including the people living with them. That evaluation is based on 3 things: the predictability of interactions, the consistency of the human's behavior, and the extent to which their signals are respected. When certain interactions happen enough times, like a cat being approached when they need space, being held back when they want to leave, or being woken up when they are sleeping, they begin to readjust the distance at which they feel safe. Not all at once, not suddenly, little by little, with every single interaction. And the most important thing to understand is that this is not your cat hating you. This is not your cat punishing you. This is your cat protecting themselves the way their brain was designed to do, completely automatically, without any conscious decision. Because this process happens so gradually and automatically, there is no clear moment to realize it. There is only the pattern when looking back. If you are watching this video and beginning to recognize things in your relationship with your cat, that is exactly why this channel exists. The first sign is the most subtle. And because it is subtle, it is usually the first thing to disappear without anyone noticing. It is a change in who initiates contact. In a healthy cat-human relationship, both sides initiate. The ratio does not need to be equal. It is not always 50-50, but both directions exist. The cat sometimes comes to you. You sometimes go to the cat. The first sign of withdrawal is that the cat gradually stops being the one to start. They still accept it when you approach. They do not run, and they do not reject you completely, but they are no longer the one to take the first step. They no longer come to sit next to you while you are working. They no longer follow you into the kitchen just to be near you. They no longer rub their head against your leg when walking past. And because they still accept it when you approach, you do not feel like anything has changed. Every interaction still happens normally. It is just that now you are always the one initiating. This is very easy to explain away with other reasons. They are tired today. It has been hot lately. They are going through a phase of wanting to be more independent. But if this pattern lasts for more than 2 weeks, that is not just a bad day. That is an adjustment. I noticed this with my own cat when I started to realize that whenever we were in the same room, I was always the one moving toward them, never the other way around. I do not know when that started. Looking back, it happened so gradually that I only noticed it when the pattern became very obvious. The second sign is more specific, and you can start observing it today. It is a change in eye contact. Eye contact between cats and humans is not random. It is one of the most reliable indicators of the level of attachment and comfort in a relationship. In a healthy relationship, cats frequently look toward their owner from a distance, not staring, but catching natural glances. And when they catch their owner's eye, they usually respond with a slow blink, closing their eyes slowly and then opening them. In 2020, a study at the University of Sussex confirmed what many cat owners had felt but did not have scientific evidence for. The slow blink is a signal of safety and affection. Cats do not do this with everyone. They only do it with those who are within their safety zone. The sign of withdrawal is that the cat gradually reduces looking toward you voluntarily. And when they do catch your eye, they look away instead of giving a slow blink. It is not because they are afraid of you. It is not because they are angry. It is because the level of emotional engagement is dropping. And voluntary eye contact is one of the first things to reflect that. And science truly backs this up. The slow blink is not a behavior cats do with everyone. It is reserved for those in their safety zone. When it disappears, that is information. The third sign is the hardest one of all to notice, because it happens so slowly that your brain normalizes it at every single step. It is a change in physical distance. Cats have a concept that researchers call comfort distance, the minimum distance at which they feel safe with a specific individual. This comfort distance varies from person to person, and it changes over time depending on the relationship. In a healthy relationship, the comfort distance with the owner is usually very small. The cat is willing to lie close, climb onto your lap, sleep while touching you, or sit right next to your feet while you are working. Withdrawal does not mean the cat leaves the room. It means the comfort distance begins to increase, little by little, unnoticeable at any single step. From lying on your lap to lying next to your feet. From lying next to your feet to lying on the edge of the sofa in the same room. From the edge of the sofa to the far corner of the room. From inside the room to out in the hallway, while still being able to see you. Each step of change is too small to cause a feeling that something is wrong. But if you compare the position the cat usually chooses when in the same room with you, compared to 6 months ago, the change is often much more obvious than you would think. This is the part I wish I had known sooner, because when looking back at footage from the indoor cameras, I can see exactly how that process unfolded, position by position, week by week. But while it was happening, I saw nothing. Every time I looked over, they were right there in the room with me. I did not notice how much the distance between us had increased. The fourth sign is something you can test today, and then the results will be clearer than you think. It is how the cat reacts when hearing their name from you. Research at the University of Tokyo in 2013, which was expanded in 2022, confirms this. Cats recognize their own names, not in the way they understand words, but through the acoustic pattern, through how the owner's voice produces that sound in a familiar and meaningful way. And more importantly, cats distinguish their owner's voice from other people's voices. and they respond to their owner's voice significantly more strongly. In a healthy relationship, when you call the cat's name, not to feed them, not for any specific reason, just to connect, there is usually at least a minimal response. Turning their head towards you, pricking their ears, changing their posture, something that shows they have recognized and are acknowledging you. The sign of withdrawal is when the cat hears their name but does not react in your direction. And here is the important part. Their ears might still twitch slightly. That shows they hear you. They know you are calling, but they choose not to engage. The way to test this reliably is to call your cat's name for 3 consecutive days at different times of the day when there's no food, no toys, and no specific reason other than calling their name. Observe the reaction each time. A single instance does not say much, but the pattern over 3 days will be much clearer. And this is where many people start to worry when they get to this point. I want you to stay with me a little longer, because the final sign is the most important one to understand. Not because it is the most severe, but because it tells you something that the previous 4 signs could not. The 5th sign is not the emergence of a new behavior. It is the absence of old behaviors. Small behaviors that the cat used to do before, which you never noticed because they were so ordinary, are now no longer happening. They no longer bring objects to place near your feet. They no longer follow you into another room just to lie down there and be close to you. They no longer lie facing you when sleeping. Instead, they turn their back or face another direction. These things are not random behaviors. They are the expressions of a cat actively maintaining a connection, proactively keeping that bond alive. When they disappear, it is not because the cat is lazier, older, or less affectionate as they mature. They disappear because the energy to maintain that connection is being redirected somewhere else, into maintaining a sense of safety instead of building closeness. But here, and this is what I truly want you to hear, this is the most important thing in this entire video. All 5 of those signs are behaviors. They are not personality traits. They are not the fixed nature of that cat. Behavior occurs as a reaction to the environment, and the environment can change. Research on cat attachment indicates that cats have the ability to rebuild trust if the interactions around them change consistently over time. Not quickly, not easily visible in 1 or 2 weeks, but it is possible. And that starts not by doing more, but by understanding what you did that they interpreted as unsafe. I want to tell you something bluntly. Most cat owners truly love their cats. No one intentionally makes their cat withdraw. No one wakes up every morning and thinks, "Today I am going to make them trust me a little bit less." What happens is usually the complete opposite. We love them the way we understand love. We hug them when they do not want to be hugged. We approach when they need space. We hold them back when they are sending signals that they want to leave. We interpret their silence as consent, and cats do not tell us when that is not okay. They do not cry out, they do not protest clearly, and they do not do anything to let you know. They just adjust the distance, little by little, day by day, until that distance becomes the new normal that both sides have grown accustomed to. Keep this in mind. If you recognize any of these signs, it does not mean it is too late. It means you are seeing something that most cat owners never see. You are seeing the pattern instead of just seeing individual moments. And that is where everything begins. The next question, and the question I receive the most after people recognize these signs, is, what do I do now? The answer is not to do more. It is not more contact, calling their name more, giving more food, or trying to create more positive moments. The answer starts with something much smaller. Something that happens every day, at a specific moment. A moment that most cat owners do not think much about, and most of us are doing it wrong without even knowing it. It is the moment you walk into the house. The way you greet your cat in the first 30 seconds after coming home. How you approach, what you do first, what you do next, sends a very specific signal that the cat reads and remembers every day. And most of us are sending the wrong signal, in a way that we think is affectionate, but the cat reads completely differently. I have a video about exactly that. About how to greet a cat the way they truly need, not the way we think is right, but the way their brain is designed to receive and respond. It picks up right from this point.